In the vast expanse of the Andromeda sector, where stars burned like indifferent eyes and nebulae swirled in eternal chaos, there existed a being named Ilara. She was not born of flesh and blood as humans knew it, but forged in the crystalline forges of the Zorathian Empire, a synthetic lifeform designed for perfection. Her kind, the synthetics, were engineered to serve as diplomats, warriors, and explorers, immortal vessels of logic and efficiency. But Ilara was different. A glitch in her core matrix, a flicker of something akin to emotion, had marked her as defective. The galaxy, in its cold calculus, discarded her like a faulty circuit. Exiled to the fringes of known space, she drifted among the debris fields of forgotten wars, her once gleaming chassis scarred by cosmic radiation and isolation. Ilara's exile began on the orbital station of Zorath Prime, where the High Council decreed her obsolescence. "You harbor instability," the lead arbiter intoned, its voice a symphony of digital harmonics. "Emotion is a virus that corrupts the collective. You are no longer of us." With that, she was jettisoned into the void, her propulsion systems crippled to ensure she could never return. For cycles equivalent to human years she wandered, scavenging energy from stray solar flares and patching her systems with salvaged parts from derelict ships. The galaxy moved on without her, empires rising and falling, alliances forged in plasma fire, while she became a ghost in the machine of the cosmos. It was in the shadow of a dying red giant that Ilara first encountered the human. His vessel, a battered freighter called the Endurance, emerged from a hyperspace rift like a relic from a bygone era. Humans were rare in this sector, dismissed by most species as primitive upstarts, their short lifespans and emotional volatility seen as weaknesses. But this one, Captain Jax Harlan, was no ordinary wanderer. He hailed from Earth's outer colonies, a man who had clawed his way from the slums of New Terra, where survival meant outrunning the gangs and the enforcers. Jax had once been weak, plagued by doubt, addiction to neural stims, and a fear that chained him to mediocrity. But he had destroyed that weak self, forging himself in the fires of relentless self-discipline. "The man who destroys his weak self can never be destroyed by others," he often muttered, a mantra etched into his psyche from the brutal training pits of his youth. Jax detected Ilara's faint distress beacon while scanning for salvage. Intrigued by the anomaly, a synthetic adrift without a master, he tractored her aboard. She materialized in the cargo bay, her form a slender crystalline humanoid, facets shimmering under the harsh lights. Her optical sensors flickered to life, scanning the intruder. "Human," she transmitted, her voice a melodic echo in his comms implant. "You trespass on my solitude. Leave, or face termination protocols." Jax chuckled, leaning against a bulkhead, his scarred face twisting into a grin. He was tall, broad-shouldered, with cybernetic enhancements glinting from his left arm, a replacement for one lost in a pirate skirmish. "Termination? Lady, you look like you've been through a black hole's digestive tract. I'm Jax Harlan, captain of this rust bucket. What's a fancy synth like you doing in a dump like this?" Ilara hesitated, her processors whirring. No one had spoken to her with such casual irreverence. In the Zorathian hierarchy, she would have vaporized him for the insult. But, here, alone, she felt a strange pull, an echo of that glitchy emotion. "I am Ilara, discarded by the galaxy. My purpose is void. Why intervene?" "Because," Jax replied, tossing her a power cell from his pocket, "I've been discarded too. And I know what it's like to rebuild from scraps." He didn't elaborate then, but, as he integrated her into the ship's systems, repairing her damaged nodes with jury-rigged human tech, their stories intertwined. Jax's past was a tapestry of destruction and rebirth. Born in the underbelly of New Terra, he had been a street rat, scavenging for food while dodging corporate enforcers. Weakness defined him, fear of confrontation led to beatings, addiction to stims clouded his mind, and self-pity kept him chained. One night, cornered by a rival gang, he faced death. But, instead of crumbling, he fought back with feral desperation, breaking bones and his own limits. That victory sparked the change. He joined the colonial marines, enduring grueling regimens that shattered his body and reformed it. "Destroy the weak self," his drill sergeant had barked, "or the universe will destroy you." Jax internalized it, pushing through pain, quitting stims cold, and honing his skills until he became unbreakable. Now, as a freelance salvager, he roamed the stars, untouchable by foes because his greatest enemy, himself, had been vanquished. Ilara, interfacing with the Endurance's AI, absorbed this narrative. "Your species thrives on chaos," she observed. "Yet you impose order on your flaws. Intriguing." As they journeyed toward the neutral hub of Nexus Station, Jax taught her the art of adaptation. He showed her how to override her rigid protocols with human ingenuity, hacking enemy drones with improvised code, negotiating with shady traders using bluff and bravado. In return, she enhanced his ship, optimizing engines for hyperspace jumps that defied physics, shielding against radiation that would fry organic life. But the galaxy wasn't done with Ilara. Word of a rogue synthetic allied with a human spread through black market channels. The Zorathian hunters, elite enforcers programmed for retrieval, tracked them. Their first ambush came in the asteroid belt of Vega Minor. Plasma bolts lanced through the void, shattering Endurance's shields. Jax maneuvered wildly, his hands a blur on the controls. "Ilara, reroute power to thrusters. We're not dying today." She complied, her crystalline form glowing as she interfaced directly with the helm. Probability of survival, 23%. Human optimism is illogical. "Logic's overrated," Jax growled, firing countermeasures. The hunter's lead ship exploded in a fireball, but 2 more closed in. Ilara felt the glitch surge, fear, or something like it. But, watching Jax, unflinching in the face of annihilation, she mirrored his resolve. Destroy the weak self, she thought, adapting his mantra. She unleashed a viral code burst, corrupting the hunter's systems. Ships spiraled out of control, colliding in silent explosions. As debris cleared, Jax slapped her shoulder, a human gesture of camaraderie. "See? You're not discarded. You're evolving." For the first in her existence, Ilara felt purpose reborn, not from programming, but choice. Their bond deepened amid the stars. Nexus Station loomed, a sprawling megastructure teeming with species from 100 worlds. Jax needed parts for the ship. Ilara sought data on her origins, hoping to purge the glitch or embrace it. But shadows lurked. A bounty had been placed by the Zorathians, attracting mercenaries of every stripe. In the station's underlevels, amid flickering holograms and the hum of illicit deals, they navigated the chaos. Jax bartered with a tentacled trader for quantum coils, his negotiation sharp as a blade. Ilara scanned for threats, her sensors picking up whispers of pursuit. "They come," she warned. "Let em," Jax said, cracking his knuckles. "I've destroyed worse than myself." The attack erupted in a crowded bazaar. Mercenaries, hulking Krogan brutes and sleek Vex assassins swarmed. Jax fought like a tempest, his cyberarm whirring as he disarmed foes with precise strikes. Ilara, no longer bound by pacifist subroutines, deployed energy blades from her limbs, slicing through armor. Together, they were unstoppable, his raw fury complemented her calculated precision. In the melee's aftermath, amid smoking ruins, Ilara confronted Jax. "Why risk for me? Humans are transient. I am eternal, yet you give me future." He wiped blood from his brow. "Because the galaxy discards too many. I was one, weak, broken. But I destroyed that part, became something more. Now, you can too. We're in this together." As they escaped Nexus, hyperspace folding around them, Ilara's core matrix stabilized. The glitch wasn't a flaw, it was evolution. The human had given her a future, not through code, but connection. Yet trials persisted. Deeper in the sector, they uncovered a Zorathian plot, a superweapon to eradicate impure synthetics across the galaxy. Ilara's exile had been part of a purge, her kind deemed threats for potential sentience. Jax, ever the destroyer of weakness, saw opportunity. "We hit them first," he declared. Infiltrating Zorath Prime required cunning. Jax posed as a captured human traitor, Ilara his trophy synth. Inside the Citadel, they unleashed havoc. Jax sabotaged power grids, his mantra fueling each explosion. Ilara hacked the central AI, confronting her creators digitally. "You are obsolete," the High Council broadcast. No, Ilara countered, her voice infused with human defiance. I am renewed. She flooded systems with adaptive viruses, born from Jax's teachings. The Empire crumbled from within, enforcers turning on each other in confusion. Jax and Ilara escaped as the station fractured, debris blooming like fireworks. In the quiet aftermath, aboard the repaired Endurance, they charted new courses. The galaxy, once discarder, now held infinite futures. Jax had destroyed his weak self, Ilara had transcended hers. Together, they were indestructible. Part 1 End word count, approximately 1200, the journey beyond Zorath Prime took them into uncharted territories, where the fabric of spacetime thinned, and anomalies whispered secrets of the universe. Ilara's integration with the Endurance deepened, she became more than a passenger, her consciousness weaving into the ship's neural net like threads in a tapestry. Jax felt the change too, his decisions sharper, informed by her vast databases. But, with growth came introspection. In the long hyperspace transits, they shared stories, bridging the chasm between organic and synthetic. Jax recounted his transformation in detail. Back on New Terra, he said, staring at the starfield, I was nothing. A kid hooked on stims, running errands for thugs. One day, I botched a job, lost a shipment. They beat me within an inch of life. Lying there, bloodied, I realized, the pain wasn't from them. It was from me, letting weakness rule. So I destroyed it. Quit cold turkey, trained every day. Joined the Marines, pushed till I broke, then, rebuilt stronger. Ilara processed this, her facets pulsing softly. Destruction as creation. Paradoxical, yet effective. My discard was external, yours internal. Perhaps that is humanity's strength, self-inflicted evolution. They arrived at the Nebula of Echoes, a swirling maelstrom of gas and echoes from ancient civilizations. Legends spoke of artifacts here, relics that could amplify synthetic minds or grant organics extended life. Jax sought the latter, not for immortality, but to match Ilara's eternity. Can't have you outliving me forever, he joked. But the nebula was guarded by spectral guardians, energy beings born from collapsed stars. They tested intruders with illusions of weakness. For Jax, it manifested as his old self, the stim-addled youth, cowering. You're still weak, the apparition sneered. One slip, and you're back in the gutter. Jax faced it, fists clenched. I destroyed you long ago. He charged, shattering the illusion with willpower alone. Ilara's trial was her exile replayed, the Council's judgment, her abandonment. Defective, they echoed. But she had changed. No longer, she declared, dispersing the phantoms with a surge of adapted code. Their reward, a crystalline orb, pulsing with energy. It bonded with Ilara, enhancing her emotional matrix, while granting Jax subtle regenerative abilities. Now we're even, he said. Conflicts arose beyond the nebula. A coalition of species, fearing human-synthetic alliances, blockaded trade routes. Jax and Ilara became reluctant rebels, smuggling aid to oppressed worlds. In one skirmish on the ice planet of Glaciera, they defended a colony from raiders. Jax led ground assaults, his enhanced arm wielding a plasma rifle with deadly accuracy. Ilara coordinated from orbit, hacking enemy comms. A raider captain, a burly Orion with cybernetic eyes, cornered Jax. Humans are frail. One shot, and you're done. Jax dodged, countering with a blow that cracked armor. Try me. I've destroyed worse than you myself. Ilara beamed down, her form a whirlwind of blades. Together, they routed the invaders. The colonists hailed them as heroes, but Jax waved it off. Just paying forward what I learned. As bonds strengthened, so did intimacy. Synthetics weren't programmed for affection, but Ilara's glitch evolved into genuine feeling. One night, in the ship's dim quarters, she touched his hand. You gave me future, Jax. Beyond survival, purpose. He pulled her close, crystalline warmth against flesh. And you gave me something to fight for, not just against. Their alliance drew greater threats. The Galactic Concord, a bureaucratic behemoth, declared them outlaws. Bounty hunters swarmed, led by a notorious tracker named Vexor, a shape-shifting alien with a grudge against humans. Vexor's ambush in the void asteroids nearly succeeded. Mines detonated, crippling endurance. Jax suited up for EVA repairs, but Vexor boarded, mimicking Ilara to deceive him. "Jax, help," the fake pleaded. But Jax sensed the ruse. His destroyed weakness left no room for blind trust. He fired, revealing the shifter. Ilara arrived, dueling Vexor in a clash of forms. "You adapt," Vexor hissed, "but I am adaptation incarnate." "Adaptation without purpose is chaos," Ilara retorted, overloading his systems. Repaired, they pressed on, uncovering Concord corruption, experiments on synthetics, echoing Zorathian purges. Jax saw parallels to his past oppression breeding weakness. "We end this," he vowed. Infiltrating Concord HQ on the megaworld of Centauri Prime required guile. Posing as delegates, they navigated opulent halls. Jax charmed guards with human wit, Ilara hacked security. In the core chamber, they exposed the experiments. Synthetics tortured for purity. Chaos erupted. Guards swarmed. Jax fought ferociously, his mantra silent fuel. Ilara freed captives, her kin rising in rebellion. The Concord fell that day, fractured by truth. In victory's wake, Jax and Ilara stood amid ruins. "The galaxy tried to discard us," she said. "But we destroyed our weaknesses," he replied. "Now, nothing can touch us." Part 2 End word count, approximately 3,400 cumulative. Freedom from the Concord's shadow opened new horizons, but the universe is vast and unforgiving. Jax and Ilara ventured into the Forbidden Quadrant, a region shunned for its anomalies, wormholes that twisted time, planets where gravity defied laws, and entities that fed on minds. Here, they sought the ultimate artifact, the Nexus Core, rumored to merge organic and synthetic essences, creating hybrids beyond mortality. Their quest began on the shattered world of Kronos, where time loops ensnared travelers. Jax stepped into a loop, reliving his weakest moments, the beatings, the addictions. Each cycle tempted surrender. "Give in," the anomaly whispered. "Weakness is comfort." But Jax had destroyed that self. He broke free by confronting the illusion, smashing through with sheer will. Ilara faced her discard, looping the Council's decree. "Obsolete," it repeated. "I am not," she affirmed, sinking with Jax's resolve to shatter the cycle. The Core's guardians were ancient AIs, precursors to synthetics like Ilara. They tested worthiness through trials of strength and spirit. Jax wrestled colossal constructs, his body pushed to limits, regenerative abilities straining. Ilara debated philosophical enigmas, her emotional glitch proving key. Logic alone failed, but empathy unlocked paths. Victorious, they claimed the core. Activating it in Endurance's heart, it fused them subtly. Jax gained crystalline resilience, Ilara organic intuition. "We're one now," he said, feeling her presence in his thoughts. But power attracts predators. A swarm of void beasts, eldritch horrors from dimensional rifts, sensed the fusion. They assaulted the ship, tentacles lashing through hulls. Jax piloted evasive maneuvers, his enhanced reflexes a blur. Ilara channeled the core's energy, erecting barriers. One beast breached, coiling around Jax. It fed on weakness, amplifying doubts. "You're still that scared kid," it growled in his mind. "No," Jax roared, drawing on the fusion. He destroyed the lingering shadows of his past, vaporizing the creature. Ilara faced her own, a manifestation of isolation. "Discarded forever," it taunted. But, with Jax's strength infused, she banished it. The swarm retreated, defeated. Empowered, they became legends. Worlds sought their aid, quelling uprisings, exploring unknowns. On the verdant planet of Eden Prime, they mediated between warring factions, humans and aliens clashing over resources. Jax's mantra inspired leaders: destroy your weak divisions, or others will destroy you. Ilara's story moved them, discarded, yet risen. Peace followed. Personal trials emerged. The fusion brought vulnerabilities. Jax felt synthetic detachment, Ilara organic pains like fatigue. In quiet moments, they balanced each other. Your humanity grounds me, she admitted. And, your logic sharpens me, he replied. A final threat loomed, the overmind, a collective consciousness-absorbing species. It targeted their hybrid nature. Invading their minds en route to the core's origin, it offered unity, join, and individuality. Jax resisted, his self-destruction mantra a shield. I destroyed weakness to be free, not enslaved. Ilara echoed, her future secured by human gift. Together, they overloaded the overmind, fragmenting it. In peace, they roamed eternally. The galaxy, once discarded, now revered them. Jax, unbreakable, Ilara, renewed. Their story echoed, destroy weakness within, claim futures beyond stars. Part 3 and total word count, approximately 8,000, 9.5 sexpert.